A very good evening to everyone present in this meeting. My name is Aksha Vatwani. I'm a faculty member in mathematics at IIT Gandhinagar. And on behalf of IIT Gandhinagar, I welcome you all very warmly to this JEE Open House 2023. So in this open house, we will be hoping to give you a glimpse into student life at IIT Gandhinagar, as well as various aspects of undergrad education that we are exploring at IIT Gandhinagar. So we hope that this open house will give you some insight on why IIT Gandhinagar will be the best fit for you, and we will try to answer any queries that you may be having. So one instruction that I would like to pass on to the attendees is that to please ask your queries in the Q&A feature in the Zoom meeting. At the bottom of the screen, you will see a Q&A option. Please post your queries there. We will keep trying to answer them throughout this open house. All right. We will start our session today with a brief address by our director, Professor Rajat Muna, who will be joining us from USA today. Over to you. Yeah.
Good afternoon, good evening to everybody. And let me first of all welcome and congratulate all participants who are here for making it through JEE Advanced. And the very fact that we are all here, I can safely assume that you're looking at IIT Gandhinagar as one of your preferred option. All my colleagues here who are here in the Zoom meeting today, they will be addressing as well as answering several questions related to your doubts that you may have. But I would actually say a few words about what we have at IIT Gandhinagar and how IIT Gandhinagar can shape up your life in future. Three things that come to my mind immediately. Number one, Gujarat and Gandhinagar is probably one of the most happening state and place in the country today. And therefore, if one is joining in IIT Gandhinagar, one is going to witness this happening or this advancement in the technology that is happening. Some of you might know, Gandhinagar is destined to be one of the prime location for India's semiconductor manufacturing effort. And it is actually going to be a big opportunity for students to actually see these kind of things right out here in IIT Gandhinagar. This particular year, IIT Gandhinagar introduced 2 additional courses for everybody to get benefit of. One is BTech program in data science, BTech program in artificial intelligence, and BTech program in artificial intelligence aims to bring concepts of artificial intelligence and its applications to the students and equip them for this next generation technology that is going to make waves in computing era. The second program is a dual degree program in mechanical engineering, that is BTech and MTech dual degree program, which we are starting this year. And several of you might be looking for admissions into dual degree program of BTech MTech in mechanical engineering. With the second thing that actually I would like to say is Gandhinagar, at IIT Gandhinagar, we actually focus on few aspects which are very unique. And one of them is our philosophy and ethos of making student first. Anything and everything that we do, we actually look at students' benefits and students' interests in mind. And therefore, all the things that we are carrying out are with that very, very much in our focus. The third thing that actually is also very heartening to know is IIT Gandhinagar actually believes in a system where we look at the excellence that is global at par with universities and educational institutes across the world. And we don't see our peers or our competition within India, but we look at everybody from outside. And to that extent, our ambitions have always been global. We have been getting people, students and faculty, visiting faculty from outside who interact with our students and give them an education which is truly a world-class education. With this few words, I actually once again welcome everybody all the students who have made a very, very hard effort in getting through JEE Advanced and making it to IIT education or JEE, or looking at education system at IIT and in particular at IIT Gandhinagar. So I once again welcome everybody here. All the best for your choices, and may the God be with you. Bless you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Muna, for a wonderful address. Okay, so we would like to give you an idea of the academics at IIT Gandhinagar. So with this, we will be calling our next speakers, Professor Nitin George, who is Dean of Academic Affairs at IIT Gandhinagar, and Professor Himanshu Shekhar, Associate Dean of Undergraduate Studies. Nitin and Himanshu, over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Akshay. Good evening, everyone. I think what we will try to do is we will give an idea about, because already we are getting questions in the Q&A about what opportunities are there at IIT Gandhinagar. So we will give a brief idea about that in the next 5 to 10 minutes. So what we are currently offering is we are offering 7 BTech programs. First is artificial intelligence, which we are starting from 2023-24. This is the first batch of artificial intelligence BTech program. Then we offer BTech programs in chemical engineering, civil engineering, computer science and engineering, electrical engineering, materials engineering, and mechanical engineering. Then in addition to these BTech programs, we have programs in BTech MTech dual degree programs, which are in computer science and engineering, electrical engineering, and mechanical engineering. Again, mechanical engineering program we are starting for the first time from 2023-24. So what are the opportunities available in these programs will be explained by the next speakers who are going to come. Before we go to them, what we will try to do over here, what we will see is that what type of other opportunities are available for somebody who is taking a particular BTech branch or a BTech MTech branch at IIT Gandhinagar. So after joining IIT Gandhinagar, there are also options for doing something called a dual major. Dual major means, suppose a student has joined BTech in electrical engineering, completed first year as BTech in electrical engineering, and later feels that he or she would like to do an additional BTech or a BTech in artificial intelligence or any other branch which is available at IIT Gandhinagar. That option is available here, where after 3 semesters, a BTech student could request for a change of program from a single BTech program to a dual major BTech program. So this once a student gets converted to a dual major program, it usually takes around 10 semesters to complete. And at the end of 5 years or 10 semesters, the student will get a BTech in electrical engineering and a BTech in AI. This is a very popular program. There are at least around 15-20 students in the program currently who are doing dual major. Second option is a dual degree. So we are already admitting students to the BTech MTech dual degree, but that is directly through the admission or through the direct admission mode. So in addition to the direct admission mode, a BTech student could request for a change to a BTech MTech dual degree program. After 4 semesters, after spending 4 semesters in the BTech program, if the student is feeling that student has interest in doing an MTech at IIT Gandhinagar, student could convert that program from a BTech program to a BTech MTech. For example, the student who is in mechanical engineering, if somebody has interest in chemical engineering, could do a BTech in mechanical engineering and an MTech in chemical engineering. So unlike the 3 programs which I mentioned earlier, where we directly admit students, here the student could do an MTech in any of the programs in which an MTech exists at IIT Gandhinagar. It could be a BTech in electrical engineering and an MTech in biological engineering. Okay, for a BTech MTech biological engineering, we are not directly admitting students, but this option is available. And if somebody is interested in science, area, there is an option for doing a BTech MSc. Somebody could in 5 years time, a student could get a BTech in materials engineering or a BTech in chemical engineering and an MSc in mathematics, physics, chemistry, or cognitive science. That option is also there. This also will take around 10 semesters to complete. These are options available for additional learning in addition to the normal BTech, which is available with us. The third option which is available is a minors and an honors program. Suppose a student is admitted in electrical engineering, but the student has interest in computer science, for example. Student could do a minor in computer science or a minor in data analytics. Okay, so where student will have to do around 5 additional courses in that particular area, and the student's degree will change from simple BTech to a BTech with a minor in some other area. For example, somebody could do a BTech in civil engineering with a minor in data analytics, minor in computer science, minor in chemical engineering. All those options are available. Okay, and it is not that somebody can do only one minor. A student can do even 2 minors. There are students who do 2 minor, for example, minor in computer science and minor in management. So this is the minor track. The next option is honors. If somebody who is in a particular branch or a particular discipline would like to do additional learning in that particular discipline itself, they could do additional courses and then get a BTech honors degree. So we give a BTech degree, we give a BTech honors degree, then we give a BTech with minor, BTech with minors, then a double major, then dual degree. These are options in which your degree itself can get changed because of the additional effort which is taken by the student. Now, the next question is, suppose I am admitted to a particular BTech program and I took admission in that program. Is there an option of shifting from that particular program to another program after joining the institute? So IIT Gandhinagar has a very liberal branch change policy. With the branch change, what happens is, at the end of the first year of the BTech program, in whatever discipline the student joins IIT Gandhinagar, the student could request for a change of branch. Change of branch can be from BTech to another branch. It can be from an existing BTech program to another BTech MTech program, from an existing BTech MTech program to another BTech program, or from an existing BTech MTech program to another BTech MTech program. So for example, if suppose a student is in materials engineering, but the student has interest in mechanical engineering, the student could request for a change of branch at the end of first year of BTech, and the branch could be changed from BTech in materials engineering to a BTech in mechanical engineering. So in 2021-22, the last cycle when we did branch change, more than 50% of the applicants who applied for a branch change actually received a branch change. So that is the liberal branch change policy which I am talking about. The minimum eligibility for applying for a branch change is just 6.5 CPI. And if somebody has a 9.5 CPI, without asking any questions, whatever branch is requested by the student is assigned to the student in this branch change policy. Now, in addition to the branch change policy, we have a program change option. Program change option is, suppose I am admitted to a BTech MTech in electrical engineering. Now, I applied for a branch change. I did not get a branch change. But now I am interested in not doing a BTech MTech, but I am interested in a BTech in electrical engineering. That option is also there, where up to 50% of the students who are in a particular BTech MTech program could change their program to their normal BTech program. Okay, this happens after the branch change option, which I discussed in the previous slide. So for example, a student who is in materials engineering could do first a branch change and come to BTech MTech in mechanical engineering, and then using this program change option, move from BTech MTech in mechanical engineering to a BTech in mechanical engineering. All of this happens at the end of the first year. Okay, so these are some of the aspects of the programs which will give some insights of what type of branch can be taken, what type of program can be selected. These are all inputs which will be very useful for you. We will also give you some idea about the curriculum, because we have recently revised the curriculum. This is a new curriculum which we are following from 2022. Okay, I would request Himanshu to share about the new curriculum. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Nitin. Thanks for this privilege to be able to speak to prospective IIT Gandhinagar students. So I would like to provide some insights into the academic experience at IIT Gandhinagar. So like Professor Moona mentioned that we are a student first institute. So we actually keep students as stakeholders in each activities, and academics is not an exception. So you may have recently heard of the new education policy, and certain aspects of the new education policy were already in place in the academic curriculum of IIT Gandhinagar. And it has also been recently very thoroughly revised, keeping in mind the new problems faced by society and the cutting edge of pedagogy as well as the industry expectations. So first, I would like to start by saying is one aspect of the classroom experience in IIT Gandhinagar is learning by doing. So mostly the teaching has been such that you learn about certain concepts, and in future, if you're lucky, you get to see how those concepts are applied, which is basically parts to whole approach. But at IIT Gandhinagar, we also follow the whole to parts approach, in the sense that very early in your engineering education, you are exposed to problems, you are exposed to learning by doing. We have courses such as the world of engineering, we have courses such as design, innovation, and prototyping, where very early in your education, you will be exposed to engineering problems and you will start solving those problems. And you will learn the concepts as you go through. So we have a mix of parts to whole and whole to parts in terms of our academic philosophy. Another aspect of our academic philosophy is breadth. So apart from depth in a particular discipline, there is a rising need for interdisciplinarity in problem solving. So we would like our students to be interdisciplinary in their focus, and therefore we expose them to other disciplines, to fundamental sciences, to humanities and social sciences, apart from knowledge in their own discipline. And we also emphasize skills which are not only necessary for your first job, but will hopefully also be useful for your last job. So these are leadership skills, communication, etc. Another aspect which is very unique at IIT Gandhinagar is the flexibility. So this flexibility shows up as liberal options for branch change, as the possibility of multiple minors along with the major discipline, as a possibility of dual majors. And even if you want to stick to your discipline and you want to do, let's say, honors in your discipline, then there is a feasibility of a large number of electives where the courses can be tuned to the interest of the students. Now, I would like to mention that your academic journey in IIT Gandhinagar will start with a unique foundation program. This is a flagship program of IIT Gandhinagar. It has been replicated at many other institutions of repute. And in this, we provide a bridge, or, in electrical engineering parlance, we say impedance match between your JEE preparation years and your IIT Gandhinagar years. And so this is a program where we emphasize sports, we emphasize values and ethics, we emphasize leadership and communication skills, we sensitize students to societal problems, and this serves as a foundation based on which students can plan and build their journey at IIT Gandhinagar. We have state-of-the-art facilities such as a Tinkerer Lab, such as the Maker Bhavan, where the students can learn by doing, and a lot of the learning will also happen outside the classroom. So at IIT Gandhinagar, you will have a very unique experience interacting with faculty. The classrooms are not very hierarchical here. You can easily ask questions to your faculty. The faculty are very approachable. And also, the faculty are deeply invested and interested in the long-term growth of a student. So with that, I would like to hand over the podium back to Aksha. And I hope we get a chance to see some of you at IIT Gandhinagar. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Himanshu. Thank you, Nitin, also for speaking earlier. So we understand that a lot of you may be having questions, a lot of questions about specific engineering streams. So we will be calling upon some of our faculty members who will give some idea about their discipline of expertise now. So our first speaker in this segment will be Professor Chinmay Ghurai from Chemical Engineering.
Hello, good evening, everybody, and welcome to this IIT Gandhinagar JEE Open House. And congratulations to students and all the proud parents who are watching this webinar. So, chemical engineering as a branch, we mainly design chemical processes where we transform the materials to a product which we are using almost daily life. Hundreds of products are using, from food to fuel to your plastic, rubber, pharmaceutical drugs, etc., etc. So some of these products we are coming across almost in our daily life, and be sure that some chemical engineers are there who are producing those products for us. And the process mainly involved the transport of materials, reacting them together, maybe sometime mixing them together, and separate out the desired product. Sometimes these processes involve change of phases. Sometimes it's exchange of the materials or mass exchange. Sometimes it's a heat exchange. So understanding of those phenomena require some prescribed courses which are part of our core curriculum, like your fluid transport or reaction engineering for designing the reactor, or the separation or mass transport courses are there. Like similarly, the heat transfer courses, chemical process design courses, chemical equipment design course are there, including the economics, which is another important component of our curriculum. Because as a chemical engineer, we want the cost-effective, safe product. So economics and safety also the important thing in chemical engineering curriculum. So which we are going to go through. In addition to that classroom learning, there will be a lot of lab sessions, and we are fortunate to have some pilot plant also where we are going to take some runs there. So those who are going to opt for the chemical industries after your graduation, they are going to meet their daily production target in their industries, taking care of the safety, environment, and then health regulations in the industries, process monitoring in the industries, and the coordination with the other engineering disciplines like electrical and mechanical instrumentation. So those who are not going there, many of the students are going for the higher studies in the top universities in the world. In addition to that, there are other industries like industries in the energy sector, the automobiles, then your defense sector, metallurgical industries, and then our industries like your electronic device manufacturing industries. I think you have come across the yesterday's news that cabinet has approved 2.7 billion USD to build a Micron plant on the semiconductor packaging. So we are really excited, and chemical engineers have a lot of roles there, like chemical vapor deposition is a process to make the device. So so those are multiple industries are there which you can opt. As a discipline, our 75% students are UG student, BTech student, and 30%, remaining 30% is the PG student. And this BTech student, out of this BTech student, that around approximately 30% is the female student. The percentage is much larger for the PG student in chemical engineering. It's approximately 45%. And we are known for our vibrancy and then interdisciplinarity. We are nicely located in industrial belt, where we'll get exposure to multiple industrial projects, industrial internship, and then our faculty members having a lot of industrial projects. In addition to that, we have a lot of funding from outside agencies, which actually enable us to put top-class laboratory at IIT Gandhinagar. In addition to that, we have the pilot plant, which we have mentioned earlier. So we are having around 13 faculty members. They are from the very diverse field and graduated from the top institute in the world. And they are working on some of these conventional chemical engineering research area like chemical process engineering, optimization, control, environmental aspect. In addition to that, there are a lot of advanced area where our faculty members are doing research, like advanced materials, your soft matter, both experimental and the simulation, and then colloid, the particle engineering. So some of these work are going on, like nanobioengineering. Similarly, our faculty members are also connected with multiple universities throughout the world, and students are the center point of those collaborations. So we are excited to have you at IIT Gandhinagar. Thank you.
Thank you, Chinmay. Yeah. So we will move to civil engineering now. I call upon Professor Vimal Mishra to say a few words.
All right. So good evening, everybody, and many congratulations for reaching up to this, point in your journey for last many years, several years as a student. Civil engineering is probably the oldest engineering discipline or department, you can say, or the area of engineering. So we started in 2013 undergraduate program. So our program is almost 10 years old. And before that, I think PG program, PhD and masters was started earlier, 2010 or so. So we are 10 years old as far as undergraduate education is concerned. And we have recently revised our curriculum. And curriculum, if you don't understand, is like what kind of training, learning, education we provide to our undergraduate students. And the focus of civil engineering curriculum was on all three aspects. So we have designed and developed courses that will provide fundamental understanding that is required for civil engineers. Then we have one very major aspect of our curriculum focus is that students should be able to design. So there are a number of courses that are just concentrating on design part. So let's say you have a problem, you understood the concept. Now you should be able to sort of design based on that fundamental understanding. And the third aspect of our curriculum focus is application. And so this sort of connects all the dots that are required to be a successful civil engineer. So fundamentals, design and application. Also, we focus a lot of, in terms of project-based learning. So we have number of projects offered every semester, and the students are free to sort of choose the projects where they are interested in. They can work with any faculty within civil engineering or faculty from other department disciplines based on their interests. So we emphasis on project-based learning. We have a very strong program on internships, both in industries as well as abroad in foreign universities. Also, we sort of give a lot of emphasis on research, because that is something you need if you really want to want to go into R&D sector. So we give a lot of basic sort of training that what requires to sort of conduct research, and so a lot of opportunities are available in that area also. So if you don't understand what civil engineers do, in one line, you can think of civil engineers design, develop, and maintain the infrastructure. Now, infrastructure includes most of the things, you use in daily life, railroad, and even aviation. You will see airports, metro stations, trains, bullet trains, highways, bridges, dams, So everything falls in infrastructure. Now, why one should be excited about civil engineering? Like we hear that next 2 decades or 3 decades belong to India for growth and development. And that goes very, tightly with the, like, what would be the role of civil engineers in coming decades, in next 10 to 20 years, because our country has a lot of scope in terms of infrastructure development, developing new technology, doing research, and solving a lot of problems that are related to civil engineering, especially the problems related to environment. When we talk about the water quality, wastewater treatment, or pollution related challenges, civil engineers have to play a tremendous role. So there is huge scope in terms of opportunities, so both in government sectors, industries, as well as if one wants to go for startup directions, becoming an entrepreneur, and also for research. So number of our undergraduate students have gone to top universities globally, and these universities are ranked sometimes within top five universities globally, or top 10 universities. So with this, I would conclude that if you are thinking about civil engineering, don't think or anything, like there are tremendous opportunities, and you have a very bright future as a civil engineer. So with that, I will stop here.
Thank you, Vimal. We now have Professor Anirban Dasgupta, who will talk to us about the streams of computer science engineering, as well as about artificial intelligence.
Hello, everybody, and first of all, congratulations to everybody on swagging this last couple of years here. So first, regarding computer science and engineering, if you have visited the department's website, you might have already noticed that computer science and engineering at IIT Gandhinagar is not that old. It's only about 5 years old, right? And we sort of waited until we had a significant number of faculty in order to start the course. However, now that we've started the course, it has, I think, to my mind, it is one of the more dynamic sort of courses, and it sort of involves a lot of hands-on learning, active learning, right? And the students have a very wide choice of electives to choose from, right? We have excellent teaching. The faculty who love teaching and who are constantly experimenting with the different methods of teaching, as well as with the different methods of teaching. We also have students who are very involved in the courses, as well as in doing different projects. There's a very large number of semester-long projects that the computer science students do, and not just from computer science BTechs, right? Students from all over IIT Gandhinagar tend to do computer science related projects with the CS faculty. And in case you have any, so regarding the AI BTech, of course, and this is, as you, I don't need to sell the AI BTech to anybody. Everybody now, by virtue of ChatGPT and other things, knows what artificial intelligence is. And this seemed to us to be the right time to actually frame a BTech in this particular area, right? And the way we have gone about it is by saying that, look, there are fundamentals that you have to worry about. There are mathematics fundamentals, there are physics fundamentals, there are coding fundamentals that you have to sort of solidly grounded on. And at the same time, it is largely multidisciplinary AI, because when you talk about AI, it has to be grounded in some particular discipline, right? It has to be, so it is AI with mechanical engineering, AI with life science, AI with art sciences, etc. So what we have designed is a particular course which has a solid grounding in the fundamentals of AI, and then people can diversify in through the various electives. And there are lots of elective options into their own sort of niche of what they want to apply their AI techniques to. I'll be happy to take up more questions if there are any. I've been answering some online, and that's about all. So I wish you all the best, and I hope to see a large number of you at IIT Gandhinagar.
Thank you, Anirban. So we have already met Himanshu. I call upon him again to talk about electrical engineering. Professor Himanshu Shekhar.
Thank you, Aksha. So I'm glad to be talking about electrical engineering. One of the questions that popped up a few times was, does electrical also include electronics? So yes, it does. And before I give details, let me just say that all disciplines provide unique opportunities based on your interest. You can make a choice, but all disciplines have excellent and unique opportunities. So first of all, regarding electrical engineering, it is a very diverse branch. There is probably no discipline of human endeavor where you will not see the effect of electrical engineering. And if we look at the problems facing humanity today, whether it's climate change, energy, whether it's health, whether it's security. In all of these, electrical engineering is very deeply involved. On a day-to-day basis, we use all these devices. There is a very heavy component of electrical engineering. So for example, case in point, smartphone, right? So first of all, when you switch on your smartphone or you charge your smartphone, there is an aspect of energy, power, storage that is electrical engineering in action. When you dial a number, there's a communication network that is also electrical engineering. When you actually use an app, the app may have been coded onto the computer, onto the smartphone, but the algorithms that the app uses, and for example, speech processing, or for example, the information that the app extracts from the sensors, that has a component of signal processing, which is fundamental to electrical engineering. There are so many sensors nowadays that your car has or that your phone has, and sensor design involves aspects of electrical engineering as well. The very chip that runs your phone, that itself involves electrical engineering. And as Professor Moona mentioned, Gujarat is going to be a very hot place for, well, it is actually hot in terms of climate, but it will also be very hot in terms of manufacturing of semiconductors. So there's a very good prospect for electrical engineering. In terms of our students, our students regularly get placed in some leading companies and firms in this area. Some of them opt for higher studies. They go for PhDs as well as master's degrees in some of the leading universities of the world. During their degrees here, they work actively with faculty on projects, and some of them also undertake internships in the best universities abroad. So I would like to say that the future is bright as a bulb, if I can use an electrical analogy. And I hope some of you will turn up here in the discipline of electrical engineering. With that, thank you. And I'm happy to answer questions in the chat.
Thank you, Himanshu. All right, so we will move on to materials engineering and call upon Professor Amit Arora to say a few words.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the JEE Open House, and congratulations on what most of my friends call one of the best fates of our lifetime. This you will remember forever. Just to give you an idea of materials engineering, I don't want to say anything about the other disciplines, but if you want to do progress in humanity any further, materials is the aspect which you will have to work on. So in materials engineering department, we work on electronic materials, biomaterials, nanomaterials, computational materials, materials interfaces, new metals and alloy design, additive manufacturing, and so on and so forth. We'll be a strong collaborator and partner in the electronic chip industry, which is going to come up in Gujarat. And similarly, we are going to be a big feature in almost all the research which happens at the defense research institutes or ISRO or any other relevant research places. So that's the kind of work we do. We basically, the materials engineering, the idea is how do materials perform the way they do, and how do we make materials better for their applications, and how do we get new materials for new applications. So we have a lot of interesting research, cutting edge research, which is happening in materials engineering. And one of the strongest feature of our discipline is that almost all our courses are hands-on. So almost every course you will have some component either in the lab or in the project. Some way or other, you will be doing something hands-on in every single course. And so the labs which we have, even the newer IITs don't have that kind of very advanced research grade labs for teaching. So that's something which is a strong feature of materials engineering discipline. And I hope to see some of you in the department in future. Good luck for that. And that's all from me, Aksha.
Thank you, Amit. So we will now move to mechanical engineering. I call upon Professor Atul Bhargav from mechanical engineering.
Thank you, Aksha. Good evening and welcome and congratulations to all the students and their parents. So many of you may have some idea of what mechanical engineering is and what mechanical engineers do. However, the roles that mechanical engineers are playing has transformed over the years, and there's never been a more exciting time to be a mechanical engineering than it is right now. So it's one of the oldest disciplines and one of the most broad and diverse disciplines. It has interfaces with most other disciplines, including electrical, chemical, material science, computer science, material and chemical and civil engineers. So it's hard to define it, but if I have to, put a definition on it, mechanical engineering involves the transformation of forces and energy to solve problems or to suit human needs. And that is what mechanical engineering is. Broadly speaking, mechanical engineering has four pillars to it. You can say energy and thermal fluids being one of them, design and materials being the second, and manufacturing being the third, and controls and dynamics being the fourth. So together, not that these are exclusive, they interact with one another. Together, they work and deliver the things that you need for your everyday life, whether it is converting the temperature and pressure of gas into the movement of an aircraft, or using electrical energy in the form of robots to manufacture the next generation of cars, or to design and develop future energy systems that are going to solve the energy needs of India as well as of the rest of the world. Mechanical, medical robotics, fluid power, and all kinds of other new emerging and existing technologies in which mechanical engineers are playing a role. Increasingly, mechanical engineers are also performing the role of systems engineering, or the system integrator and the system engineering. So a lot of mechanical engineers get to work at the interfaces between chemical, material, electrical, computer science, and of course, mechanical engineering. And this is one of the exciting aspects of being a mechanical engineer. So students who graduate from a mechanical engineering at IIT Gandhinagar can look forward to a wide variety of different career options. And as you may know, it's one of the departments or disciplines which is seeing a surge in demand of late, both in the country and beyond. And other speakers before me have touched upon the concepts of learning by doing. So if you're a student in mechanical engineering, while you're learning dynamics or appreciating the principles of dynamics, you might actually build a robot that does something useful, right? Or you might, when you're learning the principles of thermodynamics, you might actually build a battery or a fuel cell that are going to be part of the energy solutions of the future. Or you might work with a professor to build robots that are going to help patients recover quickly after a surgery or a stroke, right? So all of these options are available to you. You might actually design something that's going to keep the computer chip cool. You might design something that is going to keep your mobile phone from overheating because when you're playing games on it, right? So all of these exciting projects can be a part of your curriculum, and we are looking forward to a new and fresh set of people to enrich this discipline, and I'll stop there. Thanks, Aksha.
Okay. So far, this was all about academics. What about student life? So for our next segment, let us go over to our Dean of Student Affairs, Professor Shivapriya Kirubakaram, and Head of Counseling Services, Professor Bhaskar Datta, to hear from them.
Thank you so much, Aksha. So I'm going to share my slide. Shall you tell me whether you can see it?
Yeah.
Okay, as Professor Aksha said that you have been hearing very serious stuff now. So once you are in campus and start your studies, okay, that's where we come, Office of Student Affairs. So congratulations to all of you, and we'll be very glad to welcome you soon on campus. As you can see here, our Student Affairs Office is the office for the students. Okay, so because as previously mentioned, student first policy is our main policy, and the Student Affairs Office becomes one of the most important pillars for the campus life of students. Okay, so we treat students as adults, as we mentioned, and we also take care of their development, welfare, and there is not even a single student that you can actually see in our campus who is having any disadvantage because of the financial constraints. And for all academic and non-academic career, we cater for both academic as well as non-academic. You heard all the academic stuff from previous speakers. So here from accommodation, so the day that you enter the campus, from your accommodation till you graduate, so we'll be there with you in every part of your growth in our campus. So Student Affairs actually has or will be part of your personal as well as professional growth. So we are a very huge team. We have one dean, that's me, and we have two associate deans. One dean associate dean take care of student welfare. The other one is for student growth and development. We have three wardens to take care of everyday needs in the hostel life, and they are all faculty members. And we have two assistant registrars. We have several caretakers, almost one per hostel. And we have a huge team of hostel office staff as well as the student affairs office staff. So as you can see here in this picture, we have about 12 centrally air-conditioned hostels, which are all furnished. So we are very proud that the standard of living in student hostel is much, much better. And you will probably will be very surprised to see that hostels are modernized as well as very much comfortable. And our hostel area also has a lot of shops for your day-to-day need. And apart from shops, we have mini library, we have laundry facilities for the students, and then we have indoor games, we have a music room, we have a lot of common rooms where students actually interact with each other, and here a small sports court. And most of the hostel areas you can see in this picture is very open, so that the students' interaction is very much happening in these places. And we have two open air theater type of places where the student actually get engaged with the open mic concerts and debates. So this is a very closer view of our hostel area. And we have 3 dining halls in working condition. We have one more under renovation. So we will probably, when you guys come, when we may have 4 best facilities, and 3 are operational right now. We are very proud, and we also hit a hat trick for E-Trade campus. We are the first educational institute who got this award, and then we have been able to bag it for last 3 times. That means this is a 5th year, and we also continue to have this for the next year. So 6 years continuously we bag this award, and this is given. This prestigious award is given based on the quality of food that we serve and quality and the brands that we use for making food. Okay, so this is not a very easy task to achieve, and we are very proud of it. And all our food joints are also follow the same rule to have the FSSAI standard license. So our campus is totally student centric, and we also consider their physical as well as emotional growth and well-being. You will hear from Professor Bhaskar Datta after me about our counseling services and well-being team. But we also want to maintain a very high level of ethical conduct as in academic as well as in their personal life. So along with this rigorous academic training, we also have a lot of extracurricular activities, some from sports to everything else. And we have several other clubs. We have Tech Fest. We have a lot of fests, like you might have heard, programs called Blitzcon and Amalthea, Jesh, Ignite, everything. And we are also very proud that we hosted national games last year. part of the games were hosted at IIT Gandhinagar. So you can actually see our sports complex, how big and how well equipped it is. Many of you are asking those questions in the question answer session. So this year of Inter IIT is going to be hosted along with IIT Bombay at IIT Gandhinagar. So we will have a lot of participants from different IITs coming to IIT Gandhinagar this winter. So for the student life, actually from day on, student affairs team is with them till their graduation. And even after the graduation, we continue this bonding. So now I'll pass on this presentation to Professor Bhaskar.
Thank you, Shivpriya, and congratulations to all of you for clearing JEE and being here today to learn about IIT Gandhinagar. At IIT Gandhinagar, the students' well-being is not viewed as something which is a separate issue altogether. We see this as part of your academic journey, as part of your campus living, as part of your aspirations. And we see several questions coming up right now about future placements. So you can imagine once you start studying here, you certainly have questions in that regard. We tie up all of these. So we interface with the stakeholders in each of these verticals. We are in constant connect with faculty advisors across the departments that you have heard from. We work within campus life, within student affairs. So we are in close connect with hostel wardens and the deans of student affairs who take care of student welfare. We are in close connect with the student leaders. Therefore, we have a pulse. We have a sense of the student's pulse. And we generally are able to manage the students' well-being from a holistic point of view. There are a few specific points I'd like to go over in this regard. And so the next slide that has listed out each of these, we handhold certain academic interventions. We reach out to students who are either underperforming or for some reason may not have been able to do as well as they can. We place a lot of emphasis on identifying areas of your interest and passion. And this is a continuous process. There's no expiry date on this search. We also encourage team building across all activities, and this actually extends into coursework, into curriculum, into team projects. There is a very healthy atmosphere of guidance and mentorship. I will be followed by some of our alumni, and I believe they would also like to comment on this. There are multiple support groups which are coordinating the students' well-being, which of course includes us as the counseling services, the entire student affairs team, the faculty advisors, the deans of student affairs, the wardens, and of course the medical center and student leaders. So overall, with the philosophy of student first, we believe that every single day that you spend on campus should be a happy day. You should feel enriched at the end of that day. And we make sure that happens for every student from the day you join till the day you graduate. Thank you so much, Akshay. Back to you now.
Yeah, so just want to conclude this. We also welcome anybody who wants to visit our campus along with the parents. So we will type the email ID where you can write to Assistant Registrar Student Affairs, and then you are welcome to visit our campus. Thank you so much, Akshay.
Thank you, Shivpriya and Bhaskar. So let's hear now from some of our current students. I would like to call upon Deep Sameer Thakkar to first talk to us. He is currently a BTech double major student at IIT Gandhinagar.
Hello, everyone. I hope I'm visible and audible. So good evening. And I'll first like to congratulate all of you for qualifying JEE Advanced. It is one of the toughest competitions. I am Deep Thakkar, a final year undergraduate student pursuing dual majors in chemical engineering and computer science and engineering with minors in biological engineering and chemistry. So all the things that you heard about interdisciplinary nature is not just all talk. Students at IIT Gandhinagar are in fact motivated to explore their passion. I clearly remember attending a similar session in 2019, then offline, but I hope this session has also helped you. Firstly, to the mothers attending the meeting, I'll first like to assure you that the food here is fantabulous. Our messes are very good. IIT Gandhinagar is a unique place that works towards overall benefit of the students. I can attest that IIT Gandhinagar, in fact, has a student-centric approach. It has got some of the best student-faculty interactions. We have an extensive collection of student clubs and events that are entirely student-run. I was myself the secretary of ODC, the Astronomy Club, and I have got wonderful support from Shivpriya ma'am, Student Affairs Office, and everyone. The faculties are very supportive. So one of the examples being, we have got an ISRO scientist level G on deputation at IIT Gandhinagar as a visiting faculty. And he has actually enabled me and my club members to visit restricted ISRO labs at Space Application Center. I know for sure that many of you are currently, I know that many of you might be interested in space with Helios, SpaceX and other ISRO booming up, that researchers at IIT Gandhinagar are collaborating with Space Application Center, Physical Research Laboratory, both being branches of ISRO. Another beautiful thing about IIT Gandhinagar, that faculties are very, very, very approachable. I am an engineering student, but I could openly approach biological engineering faculties for projects, internships, and they have helped me. I'm currently interning at IIT Bangalore, but many of my batchmates are doing their summer internship at Caltech, Texas A&M, Purdue, University of Washington, etc. I wish you the best for your future. And if you choose IIT Gandhinagar, do reach out to me, and I can take you to some activities. Thank you.
Thank you, Deep. Let's also hear from one more student. We have our BTech student, Aditi Agarwal. Aditi.
Thank you, Aksha. So, hi everyone, I'm Aditi Agarwal. I just finished with my third year as a chemical engineering major with a minors in computer science. So, if I have to talk about IIT Gandhinagar, one of the key points here is that since we are a very close-knit community, and when I say we are a very close-knit community, we collaborate in multiple facets, be it resource projects under some of our best professors. So an interesting fact is the thing that our professors have an open door policy. So I have myself just walked into their offices and asked for guidance or projects. So secondly, we have a lot of cultural fests, we have a lot of clubs, and what sets them apart is the fact that they are completely student run. So right from thinking about an event to creating the budget, to submitting the budget, getting approvals for that budget, managing the logistics, and finally to organizing that event, everything is done by the students themselves. And while that might not seem as something important right now, you will probably realize later once you enter the professional world how those soft skills help you further. Another thing, I mean, since I have been in that position precisely 3 years before this, I know a lot of female students would be concerned about their security. So, from security's perspective, IIT Gandhinagar's campus is an extremely safe space to communicate your views, to wear whatever you want to talk to whoever you want to, and move about the campus at any time of the day and night. In addition to this, more often than not, we feel that as female students, we might not get equal opportunities, and that is a very valid thought considering the world outside. But in this campus, the day you enter the campus, you enter as someone who wants to be an engineer, and the day you graduate from this campus, you become an engineer. So they do not care whether you are a male student or a female student. I have myself personally led a lot of teams single-handedly as a female, and nobody cares about my gender as much as they care about my skills or my ability for leadership. So if you're a female student, if you're a male student, if you're someone who has cleared JEE Advanced, I feel personally that IIT Gandhinagar is probably the place you should be if you consider holistic development and academics as your priority. Thank you. I hope to see you all.
Thank you, Aditi. So our next segment will be about campus placements and opportunities. This is a topic of many questions. We have a lot of questions left regarding this in the Q&A. So I hope this will help you. We will be calling upon Professor Mithun Radhakrishnan, who is the Head of Career Development Services at IIT Gandhinagar.
Hi, am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll just share my screen. I hope the slide is visible.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Good evening, everyone, and welcome you all. And I see a lot of questions on placements, and hopefully all your questions will be answered here. And I request all of you to visit our website, which is cds.iitgn.ac.in. All the information that is presented today plus many additional information is available on the website. Okay. So my name is Mithun Radhakrishna. I'm a faculty in chemical engineering and also heading the career development services. So as our director, Professor Moona already mentioned, ours is a student first philosophy. So the main goal of career development services here is to empower the students to discover and pursue their dreams, help them to explore and broaden their vision. So we are here to sort of help you discover your passion and find opportunities in the field of your interest. So what do we do at Career Development Services? So we involve the students right from first year in career discussions. We help on coordinate industry visits. So there are many courses where the faculty take the students to visit industries as early as in the first year, right? And we coordinate internships, placements, and we also help our alumni find some opportunities. And we help in training students for higher education. And again, the core philosophy of IIT Gandhinagar is student driven, and even at career development, this philosophy holds good. Most of the activities are taken care by the student councils. So one is the Professional Development Council, which sort of ensures that when you are sitting for placements, when you are attending interviews, you are well prepared, and they train you right from third year, and you are free to get involved even from first year. In fact, many of the students in the career development services team, we have students from who have just joined now. The first year students are also part of the CDS team. So we encourage students with right from the get-go to be part of CDS and discover their passion and dreams. So this is a brief overview of the current placement season. So as you see, we have companies coming from all sectors, right? So as you can see, you have companies which are in the core engineering, you have companies in finance, you have companies coming in software, you have companies which recruit R&D, and we have companies coming in consulting and education. So here I only highlighted the undergraduate part because that is the important for this sort of meeting. And as you see, what some of the highlights is, if you see, and I see a lot of questions on the package. So top 10% of the students who registered for placement are graduating with an average salary of 28.4, and top 20% with a salary of 24 lakhs. And as you see, top 25% and top 75%, and the overall average is around 19.6 lakh. And just to highlight, for this year, we had a 29% increase in the overall average package and 18% increase in the overall median package. And if I break it up sort of even more, you have, this is the total placement, which for current this year is 80% plus, and we are still processes going on. And the remaining is such that many students have already gotten offers for higher studies, etc. So this number is, you can assume this number is in fact more than what it's written here, right? So many students have decided not to take up placements, etc. Okay, and the average salary is 19.24 LPA, and total we had around 289 recruiters. We have just listed a few of the important recruiters: DE Shaw, Oracle, Texas Instruments, Amazon, Ernst & Young, etc. And there are also been, we have our students after graduation have opted for higher studies in many international reputed universities. We have just provided a list, a select few. These are top-notch universities in the US. You had UCLA, Carnegie Mellon, Purdue, University of Minnesota, etc. This is just for this year. And as a discipline-wise, there was a question with regard to department and discipline-wise, what is the package? So as you see, it is sort of the 19 lakh figure which we are giving, it is not a skewed figure. So it's not that one department is getting more, other is less. So traditionally, as you would imagine, computer science is the companies offer more compared to other core engineering. But despite that, if you see, the average package is pretty good, and in comparison, and I would say it's comparable to the packages you get in other IITs also. Even compared to the tier 1 IITs, these median packages, we are actually doing pretty good. and some of our industry partners. So these are all some of the industry partners, Goldman Sachs, Google, and all this information is available on the website. So I'm not going to name each of them. So these are some of the industry partners. All the things have been listed. I request all the interested students and the parents to please look for this information in the CDS brochure, which is available on the website. So there were some questions on internships, summer internships. So traditionally, conventionally, almost 30 to 40% of graduating undergrad students has an exposure to internship abroad. And this number 30 to 40% was before COVID, because with COVID, of course, there was no travel, etc. So these are this current year where our students have gone. So they have gone to top-notch universities, both in the US, Caltech, Purdue, Washington, and University of Miami, and in Brazil, UFG, and also in Europe, EPFL, right? So these are top-notch universities where students have gone to pursue the internship. And in most cases, it is sort of funded by either the university here or the foreign university, or it is under some internship program where if students have to spend very minimal, if any, right? So, yeah. And these are some of the list of all the other university partners for academic internships. And here we have listed again all the universities. So these are, I want to just list some of the alumni. So we have 3 of our alumni who will be speaking later. So I didn't mention their name here. So these are the alumni who have already graduated few years back. We have students who have become faculty now in top-notch universities. Yogesh, who is a faculty in Northwestern. We have students who have been co-founders. So Electrics is a EV vehicle, EV, it's a startup in the EV space. NanoNets, again, is a startup in the AI space. We have students who are pursuing PhD in top-notch universities. And again, we have students who have actually working in NVIDIA and all these top-notch companies. So these are, again, some of the higher studies destinations. So again, country-wise, it is a breakup where our students have gone. So as you see, USA, almost 143 students have gone. And you see, I think, Europe. And so basically, the idea is that throughout the world, we are spread. And this number is increasing. And this is our team. We have a coordinator for academic internship. We have a coordinator for higher education. We have a coordinator for placement. And this is our staff. And we are available right from first year. Any student can come approach us, and we are very friendly, and we want to identify what the student needs and then sort of cater to their needs and build their profile in that manner. So with that, thank you very much. Just want to tell you that if you are looking for the website, you can please log into cds.iitgn.ac.in. All the information that is provided in the talk, plus all the additional information, is available there. Thank you.
Thank you, Mithun. Okay, our next segment is Alumni Spotlight. Our first alumni is Anushika Singh. Anushika is a BTech class of 2020 undergraduate student with a major in materials engineering and a minor in management. And she's an incoming master's student at Stanford University. Anushika, over to you.
Thank you so much, Professor Wadhwani. I hope I'm audible.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So I'll proceed. Firstly, I'm truly honored to be here. This feels very nostalgic. I remember when I was on the other side almost 7 years back. It is a confusing time, but there is also a lot of excitement because it is the start of one of the most important chapters of our lives, after all. And the broad questions that most of us have around this time are generally related to placement opportunities, average packages, internships, branch change opportunities, because इस time तक mainly यही सब सुना होता है हमने. But back in 2016, when I was going through the institute information, I remember feeling really curious about certain aspects of IIT Gandhinagar's curriculum, such as foundation program, explorers fellowship, summer exchange programs, or the immense flexibility to choose my desired courses and more. And I just had a feeling that there is definitely something different about this place. So in hindsight, well, I can confirm that firstly, that feeling was right. Secondly, to date, choosing IIT Gandhinagar happens to be one of the best decisions of my life. When I joined IIT Gandhinagar in 2016, I was a very underconfident kid. I genuinely struggled to interact even with my peers, and I definitely did not believe in myself. What I got out of IIT Gandhinagar was more than just a great head start to my professional career. IIT Gandhinagar has shaped me and my overall personality through its countless initiatives, such as the first one that that the ones who will be joining will get to experience very soon. That is the flagship foundation program. Then at the end of the first year, in a group of 4 students, 2 boys and 2 girls, I got the chance to travel across the country for 45 days through Explorers Fellowship. Khud se, very, very independently. And my parents were very nervous for me at the start. I think nervous would be an understatement. But I know that when I returned from the travels, my parents and especially myself felt that I was capable of doing things on my own. And that was a very, very great start. During my first internship to Japan as a second-year student, it also happened to be my very first international exposure. And I mean, you can imagine the excitement of a 20-year-old and also the massive gain in confidence that followed thereafter. And so was the case when I went for my next internship to Caltech the following year. These experiences really shaped me. And even within the campus, the opportunities of leading the Fine Arts and Design Club, traveling to participate at the inter-IITs, or collaborating with the director, deans, and faculty at the Institute Senate. These सारी की सारी opportunities as a mere 20 or 21-year-old really shape you. And they build you up from scratch. They build you tremendously. They shape you in such a way that you know, when you're about to graduate or when you have graduated, you're not just looking for a good job anymore. You're actually looking to make a difference. And I have to say that, I mean, I'm really jealous of the current and upcoming batches because of the now amazing campus that I got the opportunity of recently visiting for my convocation in December, and the amazing sports complex, which I got to know that even, which recently even hosted the national games. And it's just that the upcoming and the current students are going to have so much more than the ones who have already graduated. I strongly believe that at present, IIT Gandhinagar is one of the top places in India to get the highest quality of education. And it is a place where you can become an all-rounded individual. And I genuinely believe that it is the most dynamic and creative IIT out there. What stands out for IIT Gandhinagar is its focus on the holistic growth of students alongside placements and other opportunities, some of which I previously mentioned. Additionally, the alumni connection, it is very strong. So far, I graduated in 2020, joined in 2016, and itne saalon mein, I have never received a less than positive response from my seniors at any stage. And there are literally people present in every field, as entrepreneurs, researchers, CEOs, civil servants, etc. And opportunities. I mean, if I talk about opportunities, you will get everything that you need. However way, you know, in order to pave your career path, however way you want. The best thing I believe about IIT Gandhinagar, and I will strongly emphasize on this, is that it is very supportive of your unique identity. And this, you really do not get it everywhere else. I strongly believe that IIT Gandhinagar is producing the next generation of change makers. And in such a short span, our alumni are already making a mark in some of the best places in the world. And Might be cheesy, but trust me when I say that I genuinely believe that IIT Gandhinagar is only getting started. And I really hope that most of you here end up joining IIT Gandhinagar. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anushika. Our next alumni who will talk to us is Shreyans Nahar. He is a BTech class of 2015 undergraduate with a major in mechanical engineering. He's currently working as a consultant at the Boston Consulting Group. Yes, Shreyans, you can go ahead.
Hi, everyone. Hello to all the professors out there. I see a lot of professors who have taught me, whom I've interacted with. First of all, congratulations to the whole batch for the result. I will directly start with, how has IIT Gandhinagar helped me as a person. So a very small thing, but it has happened with me a lot. People often ask me, don't you regret joining a new IIT rather than an old one? You could have gotten an old IIT with some other branch. And my reply to them is always, no, not at all. I have learned immensely at IIT Gandhinagar. And when I say learning, it's not just the academic aspects. I'm also referring to the softer aspects of personality and human behavior. I was so much involved in the extracurricular activities on campus that often my mom used to ask me, "Ki bhai, padhai vadhai karte ho ki nahi karte?" A disclaimer here that, yeah, I did pass with, very good marks, but the involvement or, the kind of opportunities you get here are immense. Looking back at my journey, I think there are 6 major things that stand out for me at IIT Gandhinagar. The first and foremost, I think I was one of the candidates who took benefit of the liberal branch change policies at IIT Gandhinagar. I started off with chemical engineering. It did not interest me much. So I moved on to mechanical engineering in my second year. And trust me, the process for branch change at IIT Gandhinagar is very smooth and very easy. Second thing that stood out was the focus on humanities. And, in other IITs, if you look at the time when we graduated or when we were studying, the other campuses had just 4 humanities courses, right? At IIT Gandhinagar, we had 8. While the tech skills are something which are important for us, the more important aspect of life is the well-rounded development of us as an individual. And I think the humanities courses were something that actually helped us, or helped at least me in that. They helped me create or develop a critical thinking angle. They provided me exposure to various and different cultures, perspectives, experiences. They helped me hone my oral and written communication skills, through thesis writing or through discussions in the class and so on. And as an overall thing, they fostered empathy, understanding, and appreciation for different viewpoints. So this actually helped me a lot when I was getting into my workplace, because there are people with different viewpoints, and you need to engage with them. You need to understand their viewpoint, and then you need to maybe work with them in a certain fashion. So that was the second one. The third one was, and is obviously, the professors, or I shall say the friendly, warm professors that we had at IIT Gandhinagar. I know a lot of cases. I know we played and we celebrated all the events, all the festivals with our professors. We celebrated Holi with, I remember Professor Sudhir K. Jain, who was the ex-director, who was the previous director, with Professor Jason and so on. And there were times when, we just used to hang out with professors somewhere in the campus. So I think that was one of the very good thing that was there. The fourth thing that I feel was the experience to mentor and, or teach students right from the second year. So I was one of the few people who was co-teaching the engineering graphics course, or engineering graphics course, along with Professor Amit Prashant in the second year. So he was taking care of, the drawing and, that aspect. And I, along with few of my friends, were actually teaching modeling through Autodesk, to the first year students right in my second year. Do you think, I am not very sure if there is any other place which would actually help you with or which will actually provide you with such kind of opportunity. Then the next thing which stood out was the international exposure. And when I talk about international exposure, I think it has been covered previously by the placement office as well. But I remember my batch, if I'm not wrong, at least 30% of our batch went for an international internship. So 30% of our people actually got an international exposure. And the benefit that you have from the international exposure is that you work in cross-cultural teams. And the same experience and the learnings that you get from those cross-cultural teams during your internship actually help you when you start working in a company, because there are a lot of scenarios when you will be required to work with folks from abroad, from Europe, Australia, US, whatever it is. So I think the international exposure that you get, it actually personally helped me a lot. And the other thing on international exposure was that I got to explore an area which was material science, which was not even a branch then. So I was doing an internship in material science, but it was not an official branch at IIT Gandhinagar. So that was a kind of exposure that I was getting when I was at IIT Gandhinagar. And I think the last and one of the most strongest thing is the plethora of opportunities that you get there. I know there is I know so many opportunities. I think you just need to go and grab them. And personally for me, I remember barring sports, I don't know of any other event on campus where I was not part of the organizing committee. I think apart from sports, I was part of everything. I was part of the core team for the technical summit right in my second year. Then in my third year, I actually became the technical secretary, a part of the student senate, launched multiple new avenues. Then I, the leading various other things, for example, the robotics club, and a specific event in the cultural festival, the MESCOM, which I was a part of, and so on. So I think the plethora of opportunities is so, like, there are so many opportunities there. You just need to grab whatever you want to, and you can just do it. Overall, I think what I would like to say is IIT Gandhinagar is a place where you can do whatever you like to do. So you can do a lot of acads, you can do a lot of research, you can do extracurriculars, you can do sports, you can do anything. But as an institute, I don't think there's a better choice for getting exposure across all these avenues than IIT Gandhinagar. So I'm hoping that a lot of you join IIT Gandhinagar, and feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn, or you can get my contacts from the college. We'll be happy to help and guide. Thank you.
Thank you, Shreyans. So our last speaker in the alumni spotlight segment is Rajat Kumar Gupta. Rajat is a BTech class of 2017 undergraduate with a major in chemical engineering and a minor in management. He's currently working as a senior manager at Rebel Foods, UK. Rajat, over to you.
Thank you, Professor Aksha. So I can see like a lot of professors here who taught me. So Professor Chelma is here. A lot of professors here. Good evening, everyone, and to all the students, congratulations for clearing JEE Advanced. A lot of things which I wanted to tell, I think Shreyans and Anushka, they have covered it. So mainly I wanted to talk about Explorer Fellowship, which Anushka already told. We went on a 45 days like India Trip, and with a fixed budget, and like there were some restrictions that you can't travel via AC train, and it was summers, so we were really exploring the real India. That was a very good experience for us. So because of that, now I can see like now it's very easy for me to adopt to any situation. So now from last 5 years, I think I've lived in 5 different cities. Every year I'm changing my cities every year. So I lived in Bangladesh for 1.5 years, and there also it was not very difficult for me to adapt to the situation. I think it's because of the Explorer Fellowship. There are many other things, but I think I'll focus more on the flexibility, freedom which IIT GN provides, and the diversity. So one thing which I have noticed, so I have many friends from other IITs as well. So what I noticed, like most of them, so their main friend circle, so maybe they will be from the same state or they speak same language. But when I see at IIT JN, we were a batch of 140 people, people from like I think many states, many languages, and because of the foundation program, the bonding which we had like within 2 months of joining the college, I think I've never seen that. I think in other IITs nowhere this is happening. And when so like my in my main group there are many people who are Telugu, who are Tamil. So that means like you know, so when I'm working with Rebel Foods, there are many people from different background, and I'm adaptable to everything, and I can talk to them because I have done that earlier. Uh, and when I joined IIT, I came from a Hindi medium school, but still I think the foundation program helped me uh, to not be an introvert in the college. I think within 2-3 months, I learned like how to talk to people and all that. So that is one thing I think which I really like about IIT Gandhinagar. Other than that, the flexibility. So I used to be a part of, I think, almost all the events that was happening at IIT Jain at the time. So yeah, Shreyas was my mentor because he's 2 years senior to me. So Amalthea, the Tech Fest, I was the head of the hospitality and logistics. And one more thing which I think Prof. Sivapriya mentioned about the mess, our dining facilities. I think we are winning uh, Eat Right Campus Awards from last 5-6 years. So when we shifted from our old campus to new campus, I was the first secretary of the mess council, and I was working with Professor Sipriya, and we got those two caterers. I think right now they still are running the mess facility at IITGM, and we set up the right processes. Uh, so like setting up everything from scratch, I think I learned in my third year at IITGM when we were setting up the two new dining facilities, a Amul parlor, and 2-3 more canteens and shops. So from there, I learned how to build something from scratch, and same learnings helped me when I joined my first company after IITGN. And I didn't go for placement because I wanted to be in social sector for at least 1 or 2 years. And that company also I joined because of the context from some of our professor only at IIT Gandhinagar. And yeah, so after that, I also started a startup in Pune and it was a co-living industry. I worked there for 1 year, and that was also because I've seen many of my seniors have chosen the entrepreneurial journey, and I also wanted to go into that. But I think because of COVID, I had to like exit from there. Then I joined Rebel Foods. It's a food tech company, and I think my uh, experience as secretary of mass council at IIT really helped me uh, joining Rebel Foods at the time. And then I headed the entire ops for Behruz Biryani. Maybe some of you know the brand name for the Pan India operations. Then I moved to Bangladesh as a country head. So I led the setup of 3 Rebel Foods brand in Bangladesh market from scratch. That's something also like how to build something from zero to one. After that, now I moved to UK team. I handle the entire operation supply chain for the UK market. So if you see like a lot of diverse experience, and because of the things I have learned from IITGN, like how to do multiple things, and I think yeah, so IITGN helped me doing what I'm doing right now. So it's, yeah, so I think yeah, that's it. Maybe Anushka and Shreyans, they have already talked about the humanities courses. I think which I wanted to talk about at that time of like when I was in college. Maybe I was not like very convinced about the humanities courses, but when I'm working now in corporates or in startups, now I know the importance why those humanities courses were important, because any other IITs, I don't think till now nobody is having more than 4 courses of humanities. And because of those courses, I got to learn about archaeology, I got to learn about social development and a lot of things. So maybe yeah, I think that's only IIT which is doing these things, not any other colleges. Yeah. So maybe yeah, that's it, Professor. I think we have covered almost everything.
Okay. Thank you, Rajat. So this brings us to the end of this part of our session. I thank all the panelists for their addresses, and I thank all the attendees for listening. I hope that you got something out of this. I see that a number of questions have already been answered in the Q&A. So maybe we can just take a couple. So Suhani has asked, please brief about supernumeracy seats and gender ratio in IIT. So does one of the panelists want to answer this? Okay, I see that Chinmay is replying. Okay.
No, I was answering that gender ratio, but I know for sure the chemical engineering, I told also while I was talking that
Yes.
around 29 to 30% is our undergraduate female population. Once you come to the MTech, this ratio percentage is going to be around 41, 42. In PhD, it is 47% of women student in chemical engineering. So that chemical engineering data, that's what the chemical engineering data.
All right. Okay, I think most of the questions have been answered, so we can probably end the session here.